Okay. Get my backup computer running. All right. It's all running. Yes. Sure. Okay. I'm going to share the screen and bring up my little presentation. Just to sort of introduce this for the guys who are going to watch this on YouTube later. All right. So this is a brand new sort of webinar I've been drawn to try out. And this one is just going to move these windows around so I can see you guys. It doesn't want to do that, does it? It's not really. So this is a free mini soul contract reading webinar to uncover the truth of how your life is really meant to work. And I'm Nicolas, David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. So I want to find out why you guys are here really briefly. So it gives me a feel for the room. And then we're going to get into it. We're going to find out why you are here, what your purpose of this life is. So maybe if you just want to wave at me or put your electronic hand up and just say where you are, what brought you here, what you'd like from it, then I'm getting a feel for you that I can pitch the webinar to however you want it. This is a very fluid webinar. Jared, well trained.
Yeah, my name is Jared Carter, and I'm just finished level 3 of the soul contracts. But I've been doing metaphysical fairs and mini readings, and when I saw your mini readings, I wanted to see how you did it to
Yep.
perfect my craft because I feel like I'm giving too much in my minis.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jared. Mario, nice to see you again.
Hi, David. Hi, everyone. I'm Mario. I'm joining in from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. I got my chart earlier this year, but never really read it with much detail. So this is perfect for me to really understand what's going on. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Stephanie?
Hello, pleasure to be here with you all. I'm Stephanie and I'm based in New Jersey. And a couple weeks ago, I happened upon the soul contract system and I managed to basically draw the graph and decode my thing. And then I found your software and I surprisingly was able to do it correctly. But that's the extent of it. So I'm here just to learn and see if I potentially go into some of the trainings. Yeah, just excited to be in community with you guys.
Okay. All right. Adam, are you still out east?
What was that?
Are you still living out east?
No, but I might be going back
Yeah.
after 4 years in the UK. I didn't think I would go back, but I might be going back. So
Yeah.
I'm very conflicted or a bit confused, which leads into what I was going to say, which is that I'm always feeling a bit lost with my healing, still trying to work everything out. Still haven't really developed my own soul plan or soul contract business yet, despite having done the training a long time ago. And so I'm just always into soul plan events and learning more and hearing more about my chart. Or yeah, I've never done a webinar before. I think I've been too anxious about it, but I don't know. I don't really know why I'm here. I just decided this time I'll do it. So
Just to give it, we're just having a chat in the front room of the house. At least it was electronic, and this is very
yeah.
flexible. It's whatever you need regarding the soul contract work. So don't hold back on questions, guys. I know some of you are interested in the training, some just want to know about the chart, and some are somewhere in between. So it's whatever you need. Okay. Maya got a new name. Wingmakers. That's new. What you been up to?
Yeah, I was surprised because I forgot I put it just, I'm testing it. I got it downloaded. I was going to contact you about it maybe next year because you must be busy now because it just came to me. And I'm here because, of course, I'm curious. I've done practitioner level 1 and I'm curious about your mini readings and always ready to learn more with my 12-3 in Soul Destiny.
Aren't we all? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Melissa, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. It was lovely to meet your son.
Oh, okay.
Great
Yes.
teacher.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Maya. Okay. Melissa.
Nice to see you again, Nicholas. I am here. I just love watching how people get their charts read, and I just love how they resonate. And me being very intuitive, I love just reading people. Not that I'm crossing boundaries, but just see how what comes up in the chart. So when you do all these, webinars, I just love listening to them, and just it really resonates with me, the energy that I'm getting from people. So I'm just kind of here as a spectator and I love how you read, Nicholas. You are just so gentle and so compassionate when you read charts. I just love eating it up. So that's kind of why I'm here. I'm also a level 3 practitioner. So if you are seeking training, I would definitely do it, because this is just so much information that is like the GPS, like Nicholas says. So that's kind of why I'm here, just to kind of be a spectator, and maybe my chart will get read too. There's always stuff that keeps popping up. So
Okay.
I'm here as a fan.
All right. I like them fans. Okay. Adam. Oh, actually, Adam and Maya and Melissa, if you could just put down your hands, just lower your hand from the bottom. So I don't think you can ask me another question. Okay. So it sounds like most of you, anyone else want to say hi, Leslie, or anything like that? No? Okay. All right. Anyone in the attendee room want to say hi? You can just switch your mic on if you want, or put it in the chat.
Okay, did I do that right?
Okay, Lisa, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
So I'm new at this. I just bought your book.
Yeah.
And
Hooray.
I read
Good.
most of it. Can you see me?
I can see you quite clearly.
It's not showing up here. Okay, so anyway, bought the book and I did a chart, but I really couldn't figure out what it was about. So hoping to get some questions answered and learn more about it. So yeah, I'm real excited. Thanks.
All right. Okay, so if you guys are wanting to ask questions about your chart, I want you to put your birth certificate name in the chat and your date of birth. So if I get to you, then I can load it straight on the software and put it on the screen, okay? So, Leslie.
Hi, I met you a long, long time ago at a lecture that you did in Chertsey.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah. I bought your book, but I haven't got a clue what I'm doing with it. So I thought I'd come along to the talk this afternoon, and perhaps I could learn a bit more about what I'm supposed to be doing with it.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. Okay, you guys, put down your actual name, your birth name. Some of you just give me the aspects. Okay. Oh no, Stephanie, you give me both. That's fine. As long as it's the full birth certificate name, it's fine, because I can generate the charts. Okay. So, Lisa, you got another question, or you still got your hand up? You just need to lower your hand, that's all. I'm just checking. Okay. Let me just check the chat here. I've got two screens. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just looking at my other screen, which has got the chat in it.
Actually,
Okay.
I do have a question.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so my birth name was Lisa Jo Purcell, but I've never liked my name. I never liked the Joe part.
Yeah.
So I always use Lisa Purcell. So does that make a difference?
It's probably because of the not so good numbers in there, but we always use the birth certificate name, even if you don't like it and even you've never used it. It's still the cake of your life. That's the one we look at with this level of the work. Okay.
Okay.
That's what the book can handle. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have to put our full name in?
It must be the full birth certificate name, Leslie, exactly as it's spelled on the birth certificate. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. I'm ready to go. All right. Okay. So let's get back to the presentation. Okay, so we know why we're here. I'm here to help you guys find out more about yourself, and you guys who are watching the YouTube later as well. So for some people are going to hit this cold on YouTube. And I'm going to give a little intro, which most of you here live will probably know. Okay. Sarah, you got your hand up in the chat in the attendee room. Are you wanting to come to the main room, or is there a question you want to ask me? You can speak now.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I just saw that the chat was disabled and I didn't know I'm new to this Zoom, so I didn't know if I was doing it correctly where I sent my name.
I guess it's just chat setting. Hang on. Need to find.
Because there was a Q&A and then the webinar or chat was disabled, so I didn't know if I did it correctly.
I think it's because you are in you're in the attendee room, which is why you can't send the chat, I think. But and let me just see if I can change that. Hang on.
Okay, I apologize.
I'm looking at the settings here because Zoom keeps changing the settings. Enable mute play. Right. You have to come into the main room by the looks of it. I can't change the setting.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll send you, promote you to a panelist. Just say yes to that. Then you come into the main room.
Okay.
Okay. Then you'll be able to chat to me. Okay.
Okay.
Seems to be the only way. It used to be that worked okay, but clearly they've gone and changed something. So, okay. Did you see the little box come up?
Not seeing anything pop up. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Just say yes to that box. Same with you other guys in there if you want to come in, just put your hand up. Okay. Or you can just talk to me as well if you want.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just got an email and I'm just very new. I'm a newbie, so all of this is very interesting to me and I'm excited to hear what I can find out and learn. I went to the Monroe Institute in October for one of their events for veterans, and I'm all new to this, like awakening and everything and soul contracts. So I'm excited to hear what I can learn. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I've just seen there's a Q&A things popped up as well. Okay, I can't see another way to get this chat going. Just one more look. Yeah, they're going to change the settings on me. I don't know how that works. Okay, so sorry about that. Actually, I'm just going to send this. I'm going to change it here. I'll change it to everyone. So you guys in the team room, send you a message. Okay, it should hit everyone now. I think that may do it. Okay, does Georgia, Paula, and Vidu, did you get that message I just sent? Try and reply to me so we can see if this works.
It still says chat disabled for me.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Paul. I don't know the solution to it. It's not coming up in the settings. So
No problem. Thank you.
yeah. Do you want to come to the main room so you can chat?
Okay.
Yeah. So just you don't have to turn the camera on if you don't want, but you can just it means you can actually chat. Which is the main point of this. Okay, just say yes to that little pop-up. Can you see it? There you go. All right, where was I? So this is for the guys who are watching this on YouTube. Well, assuming some of you don't know what a subcontract reading is, or just new to the work. Subcontract reading is an accurate, in-depth channel system of spiritual interpretation. Actually, as many of you could keep your cameras on, okay, in the main room, that'd be great because it means I can connect with you, you see. But if everyone switches it off, it means I don't have an audience, so it's hard to relate to what's going on. Because it's actually about not just visual, but it's an emotional connection that builds the group energy. Thank you. Okay. It's good practice if you're a bit shy to show yourself as well. So only if you want to. So subcontract reading is an accurate, in-depth channel system of interpretation. Okay. And that will empower you to decode the spiritual map of your life so you can manifest your soul purpose. So that's quite a mouthful, isn't it, what it can do, which is all true. This intro bit's quite short, okay? And it does this by decoding the secrets of the blueprint of your life hidden within your birth name. So do you feel there's something very important you're here to do in this life? And does it feel like it's been hidden from you and that you've been seeking it for your entire life? And that you can't quite get to what it is? I felt like that for the first 30 years of life. And does it always feel like there's one challenge after another blocking you from turning it into a living reality? So hands up, you guys who feel all that. Do you feel that? Yeah. This is pretty typical for light workers like us. You know, there's something more important than all 3D stuff going on. And we go searching for it. And that's the beginning of our awakening. And I was really determined to find out what that was. And so what happened was that I was drawn to go to a workshop called the Carousel of Growth with Frank Alper, the founder of this work, and in 1990. And I walked into this room in Phoenix, Arizona. That's why I've been to America. There were 30 people there who looked very familiar. And during that spiritual workshop, I had a reading with Frank, and he took out the Star of David. We drew a Star of David like this. And he asked me for my birth certificate name. And he proceeded to explain did a bit of math and explain my entire life in that hour. And the most important thing he said was I was here to be a spiritual teacher. And that's what I've been doing. I've been teaching self contract for 30 years now. I've been teaching it. And so the basic idea of it is that the soul has a set of vibrations in the form of our name. And if we decode it on the Star of David, we can find out what those vibrations are creating for us by the law of attraction. And our personalities are created brand new each lifetime. Our soul is eternal, but there's a brand new personality each lifetime. And what happens is that we have to learn to walk and talk, get conditioned responses, get up and running in life. And so we have a large downward pointing triangle here. It's been a little thicker, which is the physical side of life. So that's getting up and running. It's primary focus in the first 5 cycles or 7 years, first 35 years or less, we spend time arriving here. In between the ages of 35 and 42 or younger, sometimes older, the spiritual triangle triggers. That's where we wake up spiritually. That's where we look at our lives and think, well, this job and where I'm living and all this relationship are not working anymore. We search for a real purpose. How many of you guys have had that? Hands up. And everything's up for grabs. Everything's up for grabs. So the soul is hoping that you will pursue the spiritual path. And you all are, those here live, because you turn up at this webinar, and wants to build the spiritual mission on top of the physical triangle. So between 35 and 42, or 6 cycle of 7 years, this happens, or younger. Okay, for those of you who are my practitioners here looking at how this works, I'm giving the bare minimum here. So someone coming cold to one of your webinars with live events knows what's going on. But the most important thing is to get to the meat of it, which we'll get to in a couple of minutes. What does it mean for each individual? So in each triangle, there's 3 aspects. There's physical karma in talents and goals. Physical karma is a set of unresolved past life issues the soul puts in place for us to overcome and transform into our gifts of service into a positive energy. It goes from negative to positive. That's why life's quite challenging when we're younger, because we have a whole bunch of stuff landing on us and we just have to work out what to do with it. The idea is to tune into it and use our physical talents here, which are latent, to overcome and transmute it, so that those gifts here, our greatest gift, the answer to a lot of your questions, or what I'm here to do, is in your physical karma and your spiritual karma. Say, for example, I have a 3, which is great unworthiness to be loved. As I overcome that helped me move out of being shy to communicating, then eventually to teaching. Now I won't shut up, you see. And the spiritual karmic 9s here, for me, are great disempowerment as a child. And my soul chose that so I could overcome that, to come into my power, both for myself and for you guys, to empower you to get out there and carry out your mission. Okay? So that's the answer to major part of the answer to the question most people ask, what am I here to do? What's that hidden thing, that secret I can't find? So as the physical talents overcome the physical karma, and the karma becomes your gift to share with the world, the talents get stronger, then they overcome, transmute the physical goals. The physical goal is what gets you out of bed in life. I mean, my physical goals are 8s. I love connecting with people, all right? Mainly digitally nowadays, but it's global. So that's my goal. And so the energy flows from karma to talents to goals in the physical, then karma to talents to goals and spiritual, but with a more spiritual orientation. And spiritual karma is how we are blocked to our high dimensional abilities. How do we overcome it? And how do we bring them in, embody them, and express them in the world? Okay. So if you consciously work on the 6 outer aspects here, over time, this energy complete. Most people do this in life. It's very slow. As you might have noticed, for most people, life is very slow and it's hard work, painful. But if you have this knowledge, if you have this spiritual map of life, you go a lot quicker. You go like this on each of these because you know what's going on. So you're not wasting your time on things which aren't going to work. You're focusing on the 20% of things that are going to work with 80% of your focus and energy and effort. So if you work on all of these 6 outer aspects consciously, they contribute towards manifesting the soul destiny a lot quicker. The real meaning of why you were born. My soul destiny is to come to my own power and trust in what we call the spiritual signature, the flow of spirit, the ultimate flow of spirit in each moment that guides us to a more gracious, graceful, fulfilling life. Whereas most humans don't have a very fulfilling life because they're very lost, stuck in this bit, and they don't know there's a map. So they tend to go around in circles and suffer a lot. That's why this work came to Earth. So how do we do this? Okay. So, Stephanie, do you want me to look at your chart? Because you're brand new to this, so you'll be good. So I'm going to look at a few charts here. So if you put your name, you put it, there it is. Where are you from, Stephanie?
I was born in Miami, Florida.
Okay. Right. And what's your ethnic background originally? Because that doesn't sound like a very American English name.
No, my father, Pereira Lima, he's Brazilian,
Yeah.
and my mom is Cuban.
Okay. Sounded like that. So, and you speak Spanish or Portuguese or both, or?
Yes, all the above.
Okay. So this is the soul contract software. It's soulcontractreader.com. If you guys haven't used this, and you get 4 free charts out of this. But what I'm going to do, Stephanie, is I'm going to work on your name as it is spelled. Okay. There's a more advanced, it's a more personality-based name, but the more advanced version is where you can actually take into account the Spanish and the Portuguese in your name, but that requires what we call phonetics, so it's a bit more complex. But we don't have time to do that here. Okay. But this will give you a good first look at this. Okay. So which name do you normally go by?
So
common usage.
Yeah, as it's shown here in my name on Zoom. So my last name is Pereira Lima, and Valdivieso is my middle name. And in Brazil, we put our mother's maiden name in the middle.
Okay.
So that's my legal name right there. That's always been.
All right. All right. So we'll use this one here.
Yeah.
That's just a label. So I've
Okay.
given a chart here. I won't put your birth date in because it's a public video, but what's your star sign if you're open to giving that?
Yes, I'm a Pisces.
Okay. All right. Put you in here. Let's go up. You just said you're okay with me processing this data. The software required consent. Okay. And we're going to go normal current tolerance and goals. We go okay. And then we're going to go chart. So I'm just going to explain this one and give a short reading to Stephanie, then I'm going to talk about everyone else's as we go, right? So basically, this is the ASPELT version of your name, which is going to give you a good reading. The software has converted it into the equivalent Hebrew sounds and the equivalent Hebrew numbers that are inherent within this. So this is different to normal Pythagorean numerology, where you assign numbers to letters. Here in Hebrew, we use 22 Hebrew sounds, and the numbers and letters are the same thing. And we allocate these names around the star, starting physical karma, we take the first six, 15, 9, 5, 17, 5, 1, 15, 9, 5, 17, 5, 1. Then we keep going round till we use them all up. Go through them all. And then what we do is we add them up. So the total in physical karma is 59. So total in spiritual karma is 47. And we have 22 numbers here, 22 interpretations from the soul of Moses that channeled through Frank Alpa over a period of about 8 or 9 months in the 80s. So 59 doesn't have any meaning by itself, so we need to reduce it to the first possible number between 1 and 22. So we go 5 plus 9 equals 14. So that's less than 20. What becomes the first number? And we'll make it slightly smaller in here because it's a bit messy. And then we go 1 plus 4 equals 5. So we get the 5 over here. So we get 14, 5. So we have a frequency of a pure 14, yeah, and a pure 5, plus every blend in between. And there's a particular meaning to that. So that's called a combination letter. In the case of, say, physical talents, 6, the total is 33 here. 3 plus 3 equals 6. 6 plus nothing is another 6. So we get what's called a double letter. There's one frequency. So it's saying there's only one thing you're here to focus on, okay, rather than a range of frequencies. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 combination letters, but the rest of them here are double letters or double numbers, combination numbers and double numbers. So parts of your life are flexible, Stephanie, but parts of them are rigid. It has to be a certain way. Does it sound about right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then I take these physical numbers, put them on the top half of the chart here, spiritual on the bottom half, and then I add them up, get the 63 and the 27. So 6 plus 3 is 9, left-hand side, 2 plus 7 is 9. So that goes in the middle, it's soul destiny. And these channel symbols that Frank brought through are like portals to your energy. They're going to help you find out what's going on. So what's the main question you have about your life? Don't hold back, and I'll do my best to a brief reading to answer that question.
Yes. Well, so what I've understood with the soul destiny and the dominant 9 vibration is very much connected to power, which is very resonant with everything I'm going through right now. I'm 35 at the moment. I also do energy healing and channeling work, and am really in a place of expanding that and developing that. And I left my corporate career 3.5 years ago to embody this work full time. So I'm curious if there's anything, given where I'm at now at 35, if there's, any, and I'm open. I don't have a specific, but I think the other thing I was going to say is when I managed to decode this manually, and then I did it on the software, I looked at all of these images, and I was intuitively drawn to the symbol there above the 99. So yeah, maybe if you could go into that, that would be great, because I'd like to learn more.
Okay. So your soul destiny, Stephanie, is to come into your power. The whole purpose is life by working through all these 6 outer aspects is to come into the full power of the soul and let go any ego resistance to the expression of that power in the world. Because the ego is scared. If I let this out, I'm going to destroy you and everything else around me. So it holds back. Does that sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're here to learn to clear what we call the past life. It's called a shadow destroyer archetype with a 9. So in a past life, the soul with another personality got up to a bit of mischief and misused power. So it comes in this time and creates a new, the personality this time, the Stephanie personality, a fear of the power. And it can also mean people around you may disempower you as well. Has that been happening?
I would say I've received a lot of projection and misunderstanding and a lot of fear as well, other people fearing just my energy, my presence.
Yeah.
This is my life.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's Lady Dragon in the room with lots of flames coming out of it energetically. You said nothing, but it's scary to them because if they're not another dragon, not with 9s, they can't match you. So they know that they'll be barbecued for breakfast. That's how they feel, just so you know. Okay. That's the way a 9 works, okay? Because you're here to catalyze change in people.
Yes.
All right. And so how do we get there? So in physical karma, there's a 14.5, which is reflected being and speaking the truth. So is our relationships of all sorts very intense for you?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's there to reflect to you the parts of yourself you haven't seen so you can become much more aware, know yourself through intense relationship. But the main thing there is to pace yourself so you don't burn out. Okay. The physical talent 6 is about learning to be very creative and focused. So were you really, really good at your job in the corporate world?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you used to do?
Many roles, but business development, leadership, management, HR in an event planning, corporate event planning firm.
Yeah. So you're here to basically, the 6 is about learning to stay focused, have an idea, and then turn it into a physical reality and stay focused and complete it. Okay. Which is why you're good at it. Right. And part of you loves building things, doesn't it? Building ideas, building business. The 11's about taking all sorts of ideas and structure and discerning what's true and building it out like that. It's the fun of actually building what you like, isn't it? You probably get a bit bored once you build something and want to go and do something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you were a man, you probably had Lego as a kid, building stuff. Well, maybe you did have Lego as a kid.
No, and I didn't, but I could see that.
Yeah. In spiritual karma, you're here to learn spiritual structure, which is why you're interested in this work. You have the classic configuration of you want to know the structure of how life works at all levels, and you want the absolute truth of what's really going on here. It's very typical. People get attracted to this work. Okay. And pretty much 89% of our practitioners have this, which is why they come and train, which is why you said you're interested. Because you know that someone hasn't told you something about what's really going on, and you might have found a place that's going to tell you what's going on. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're here to build your own unique spiritual structure of truth here and throw away all the stuff that's not true to you. And then you're here to empower others with that truth, with this dragon energy, and teach your unique structural truth out in the world. Absorb and expand lots of knowledge. Do you read lots of books at the same time or watch lots of different videos on Gaia or other things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a big sponge for knowledge here, you see. Okay. You're here to absorb all this knowledge, all different disciplines, and then blend it, and then share it in a higher form with 3 here, which is an internal canal. There's great soul wisdom in you. You're here to bring out in the world. Once you pull out the big plug of unworthiness that comes from all this disempowerment you had as a kid. Okay. How's all this sounding so far?
Wonderful. Very resonant.
Yeah. So you're really here to show people who they are in a very grounded, focused way, give them structure and emotional support to us, find your own unique structure of truth, teach it and empower people in the process. And you're here to work with people who really want to grow, who are prepared to take the heat of the 9. So only people who are serious, don't waste your time on others because they won't last because the dragon's too strong. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. So that's why you're here. Okay. Okay, any questions on that, guys? Anyone? No? Okay. Who would like me to take a quick look at the chart? And if you have a particular question you have. Okay, Mario. We've done your chart before, haven't we?
Yes, I got it by email. I ordered it.
Okay.
But it's not here on our webinar.
Did we not do it on a webinar? Okay. So, all right. So have you put your name in the chat?
Yes, it's I'll do it again.
And I found it. I got you. I can see it.
2 first names and 2 last names.
Yeah, I got it. I found it. Okay. Copy this down.
Yeah.
Copy this here. I won't put your date of birth in. What's your star sign, Mario?
Taurus.
Taurus. Okay. You're okay with me processing this? You asked for this?
Maybe on the first field, like Olvera is the one I use the least. I don't know if that matters.
I'll say that again. Didn't quite catch that.
In the first field, you have Mario Olvera, but that's like my second surname, which I not really use. Does that make a difference?
No, this is just a label to
okay.
To get a file name. Okay, so I can find you later if we need you. Okay, so let's just put
that
this.
yeah, that would be.
This. Okay, Mario. So I don't need to explain how this all works because you guys have just seen that. Okay, what's the main question you have about your life? And we'll answer that as best we can.
Well, yeah, I've been on this journey for a couple of years now. So yeah, I mean, I had some things in common with Stephanie. I saw for example, the spiritual goals 12-3 was like the sponge. I very much related to that. And in the interpretation that I got with the reading, I was really struck by physical karma 11-2, where it says to become wise from taking foolish impulsive actions, which has been a constant in my life. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, I've started, I think I mentioned it in another webinar, like I left my corporate job this year and I plunged into the unknown completely. I did a leap of faith, like I just gonna see what happens. And it's been like 6 months now, and I'm doing tarot readings for people in my community, and I'm doing art on Instagram, which is like little snippets, visual poems, I call them, that I channel, and then I make them into like a nice little video that I share with my followers. But it hasn't really taken off. I think I'm coming to that point where I can't. I mean, I'm struggling to pay the rent and things like that. But I know I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. But I'm in that kind of moment where, I mean, I know I've done the right thing, but it still has to really support me in a meaningful way. So that's where I am right now. I don't know if there's anything that can be, if that is something that I can ask you now, or
Yeah, so you said you're doing tarot readings, did I get you right?
Yeah.
Is
It's
that
tarot reading. Basically, I target. I'm gay and I live in Amsterdam, so I target men who are like me. Like I go to gay bars, and basically what because I've struggled with this impulsive action, and I've struggled with addiction in the past, and with my identity, and I've come so far in my journey when I've integrated all the shadow, and well, as much as I can, and I feel that I have a lot to share with people who are in the journey. So it's tarot reading, but it's also like I very much share my experiences, and it's people come to me because they feel a bit lost, or because they've been doing similar things that I've done in the past. So in a way, it's like sharing my spiritual knowledge from experience, and for that, I use tarot mostly at this point.
Okay. So you're seeking some structure of how to build a business out of that. So by the sounds of it. Okay. So there's two elements, how to structure a business, but also this 12-3, how to feel worthy to be paid what you do. They're the two main things to work with. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you charge for the tarot readings?
At the moment, like 33 euros for 1 hour when they come to my place, but when I do them at the bar, it's like 5 euros, which is not a lot. You know, I can spend hours there and I just make 50 euros, you know, in a good evening.
So how many of those people convert into a full reading into the 33
Yeah, I mean,
euro?
yeah, like right now it doesn't make sense. You know, it's like I'm kind of hoping that something will happen, you know, I know I need to expand some way, maybe do a website, do like I don't know, like general videos for a bigger audience. I still have to find out how to really, you know, that right now it doesn't add up at all. So that's why but I just decided to go with it anyway for a few months and see how it went. But I've reached that point where I need to structure it in a way that makes sense and pays the bills, you know?
Yeah, yeah. What's the normal market rate for tarot readings in Amsterdam?
It varies. I've seen on other platforms like people charge 20 euros, which is not a lot. And then the very professional ones that they have 20 years experience, which I don't. I only have like a year experience. They charge up to 180 euros. You know, for example.
For how long is that?
For an hour.
For an hour. Okay. Okay.
Let's say I could raise it up at this point a bit, but yeah. Could be
Yeah.
like 80, I would say, would be like the most people would pay at this point for 1 hour.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to charge more for what you feel you're worth here. And if you
Yeah.
charge what you're worth, then they'll come. Okay. If you don't charge enough, they won't come. You charge too much, they won't come. So you got to feel what's the right amount. Okay. It's about worthiness, because three is about worthiness to be loved, but also it's directly linked to money and money, which are worth paying. Other thing that comes to me is it's hard when you're starting off in this business. I remember I started in 97 in London, 98 doing soul contract readings and healing. It puts a lot of pressure. When you put a lot of pressure on your business like this, people feel you're doing it for the money because you got to pay the bills, then they don't come so much. So the other thing to consider is a part-time job, okay, to pay some of the bills. And that takes pressure off the spiritual business. Then you'll find when you do that, the business will start to grow. That's the other thing to think of. What corporate skills can you take, you know, to work, I don't know, 2 or 3 days a week, which is what I did for a while when I left the corporate world. I'm still at the same job, but I made it part-time. Or is it some sort of contracting you can do that will pay the bills, and you can relax? And when you relax with a spiritual business, then it grows. Because the focus has to be on focusing on delivering service rather than, oh my God, I've got to pay the rent or pay the mortgage or whatever. And it's a big challenge when you're starting off. So that's the main structural thing I'd suggest to you. Making YouTube videos of you doing readings is good. I mean, our YouTube channel drives our business, actually. It's very powerful. I'll give you an example. People watch a few of these videos and they come on a 700-pound reading or 700-pound training, or they buy all the trainings. And they've never actually seen me live because the YouTube captures the essence of what you're doing. And for what you're doing, you need something which is going to give you enough time, more than Instagram or TikTok, because you're going to talk about stuff. It depends on the social media you like, but I would suggest building a presence like that as well. It's very, very powerful. And what happens is that YouTube or Instagram or TikTok does all the work for you and you're asleep. We've got, I don't know, 400 or 500 videos, and it's watched a lot by people who are very interested in what we do. So you might want to start with that, and also you need a website as well. Because they need to go somewhere to book. You're not real out there in the spiritual world unless you've actually got a website or an Instagram channel or a TikTok channel with a link tree so they can reach you somehow to make bookings. So you need to build a digital presence out there. You need to come out of hiding. Okay. Does that help?
Yeah, that's
Is that enough structure for now?
yeah. I've been getting a lot of the Emperor card, which is all about structure, and that's like my card for next year. Definitely.
Yeah. The other thing you might want to consider is that we're going to run a workshop once or twice a year called Marketing and Manifesting Your Business, which gives you the structure for how to run one of these fifth dimensional. I'll post the link in the description. How to run a fifth dimensional love and service-based business, because a lot of you have been working in the corporate world, so you've been imprinted by the greed and avarice. So we got to maximize money at any cost imprint. You can't take that into a spiritual business. I mean, I was in the corporate world in the city in London at the high end for a long time. And it's about learning we teach you actually to attune to what do you really want to offer, okay? And who do you want to offer it to? When you have your what we call ideal client avatar here, you have your ideal offering of gift of service. When they meet, that's called a business. But you got to figure out what these two things here are first. And so we lay out the landscape for a fifth dimensional love-based business, which is quite different to a greed-based competitor. Got to make as much money as we can business. Money is still important, but it's secondary to being of service. And when people feel you're of service, they will come because they don't feel you're doing it for the money. You're all probably very familiar with that. But it's always a constant struggle in our field. Okay.
I think I've been focusing on not the money at all. So now I got to the point where like, okay.
Well, focus on the service, but you've got to work on feeling worthy to be paid 80 euros an hour. Okay. So we talk about the whole journey and the internal journey. You've got to be, when you move from a corporate job where you had a fixed salary, okay, when you move into a spiritual business, what happens is that the universe really shows you where you are emotionally. So you've got to work on yourself internally to clear yourself enough so the universe can see you and you feel worthy to get 80 euros an hour. Then also in the external business as well. So it's an internal, external journey. We explore all that on marketing, manifesting the business. Because once you've got that structure of what you're meant to be doing, it saves a lot of time. Because if you try and develop a spiritual business based upon 3D corporate principles, it doesn't work. Okay. Because you're trying to do the wrong thing. You're trying to focus on making money, whereas we're trying to focus on raising consciousness and earning a living as well. Have a look at the marketing manifesting business. I'll post it in the. So what I'll do is I'll put it in the chat now. Yeah, let me just find it.
Thank you.
Seems a bit of interest in that. We developed this because we realized. I learned the hard way to run this business, but to save you a lot of grief, we came up. My team channeled this workshop to distill what we learned the hard way, so you don't have to do it the hard way. Okay, you can get on with what you love doing. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat here. So for those of you who want the structure for running your business, hang on. This is how we do it. We actually explain and share how we build our marketing sales funnels, which run these webinars. We share all our secrets of how we do it and give an example so you can adapt it for your own business in whatever way feels right to you. Because we want to see you out there. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mario. Sarah, what have you got? What have you got for me?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so I just I kind of put my birth date in my maiden name. I don't know. Does that apply to, okay, might be a silly question, but there's no silly questions, right? So
Correct.
I have my maiden name, but my husband passed away. Would that change anything? I mean, it's still Haddon is my married current name, but my maiden name, I didn't know if that made a difference.
We're only going to look at your birth name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so You think of your birth name as like a cake of your life. It's who you fundamentally are and always will be. It
Okay.
creates your reality and all the issues you've got to deal with. The married name in this case, this is like a layer of icing on the cake that infuses into it, that changes and helps you grow. That's why we have these relationships. Okay. I'm sorry to hear your husband passed away.
Thank you. He passed away in April.
Okay. It's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
So we look at that in the subcontract reading training, overlay readings. That's a level 2 training.
Okay.
How
I saw, I have my chart, so I did see the overlay, so I figured that's what that overlay meant.
Yeah. So what's your star sign?
Virgo.
Virgo. Okay. So we're gonna put the consent in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Today is the 10th. 5. Okay.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
my chart pulled up, so all the swirly marks and all that, I'm very interested. So I was writing down some of Stephanie's swirly marks came up in mine.
So what's your main question, Sarah?
Oh, I kind of know my purpose, but I kind of joke around like my purpose is just to love people. But I was a stay-at-home wife and mom when I got out of the army, so I don't have a career. So I don't have an identity in that sense. So I'm really just kind of starting all over at 43, just trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? What's my passion? What's my likes? How can I create? I want to create something. I know I will probably start like a nonprofit or something. So something in that realm. I don't know. I'm just
It's okay. So can I ask what you did in the army? Because
I was an air traffic control, but I got out when I had my daughter, so I didn't fully complete my mission and my contract. So I was the army wife and mom for 23 years.
okay.
So technically I never had like a set career.
Okay. Well, the reason you're in the army here is because you had to learn to work in a masculine hierarchy, 10-1. That's why you're in there. Okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
did you have challenges there because you were a woman?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm pretty much guarantee it looking at this chart. You have to stand in your power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you strong enough now?
I believe so. I think I got stronger out of the army though, being the army wife.
Yeah.
That was something to make me strong.
Yeah. So it was here to make you strong relative to the masculine, come into your power. Yeah. It's also about you playing with the masculine and feminine balance of the 10. This is masculine and feminine aspects of God. So you need to move from the sort of hard place that you had to be in the army to the more softer feminine side of you.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. And so you're here to take spiritual energies and be of service to others. That's the reason you're in this. That's why you're here right now. How can I serve? You already learned how to serve in the army, but now you're going to serve at a spiritual level. And it's just saying you'll be quite good at running your business, very focused and grounded. We already seen one of these earlier. Okay. In Stephanie's name. And you're here to come into the divine feminine aspect of God and love others and look after others. How many kids you got?
I have 2 daughters.
Okay. Are you a good mom?
I hope so in their eyes. You'd have to ask them.
Yeah. See what rating they give you. So.
Yeah. Well, they're coming to visit. Well, one of them's coming to live with me, and she's an adult, so I guess that's good, right?
Yeah. So here, how old are they?
23. They just turned 23 and 20.
Okay. All right. So you learn how to share the divine feminine energy with them, but you're actually here to look after others with unconditional love.
Wow,
Yeah,
that resonates.
That's the mission. That's the mission. You're here to take care of others.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're here to take spiritual energies and bring them down to the earth plane, explain high level spiritual concepts in plain English to the man or woman in the street and share it with an open heart.
Wow.
Okay. right? You're here to heal the heart wounds of childhood
Mm-hmm.
and heartbreak of loss of your partner and everything else that goes with that. And you're here to build networks of people, like-minded people. You're here to be a facilitator and synergize this into a greater whole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That resonates, yeah.
Yeah. And are you isolated at the moment, or you moved out of that?
I got boxes in my background. I'm literally just moved from where my husband and I when he retired from Fort Rucker, Alabama. So I'm just moved back to my home state so I could be near my family and grandparents and sisters and all that. So yeah.
Okay. So you like a challenge, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, this is a 21. You need to hone yourself against a big challenge. Otherwise, you get bored.
Yeah.
Little things don't interest you. Just give me a big
Mhm.
challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, but do you feel strong enough from all these challenges?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means that you're here to do things slightly the easy way rather than the hard way. But you need some sort of project that's going to still be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because you're here to teach.
Okay.
You're here to teach here and here spiritually. You're here, and this 15-6 is telling me you're here to go and journey. You've got to go and test drive life.
Mm.
Go and test drive different things spiritually and put enough time, energy, money into it to find out, is it a good fit? You cannot think your way to what's next in life, Sarah. You've got to jump in and try it on, knowing that you'll probably leave. So allow for that. There's a way out. And you've got to go through that journey for a bit. And then one day because you'll feel insecure and restless. And this is not quite it. And that's okay. Most people think you're restless and unstable. Okay. It's okay. Give yourself permission to do that. Because eventually you'll get to the point where you'll be in a place, you'll be doing something and expressing it. And it'll be like, oh, I'm home. I feel secure. You found that yet? Or are you still searching, still restless?
You know, it's an ironic, like a weird feeling. I feel secure and safe. Everything you're saying, I'm resonating with it. Like I feel secure inside, but other people looking at me probably think like I don't feel secure, but like I really do feel safe and loved inside, but the rest of my life doesn't look safe and secure, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, for you're a risk taker, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So the 4 is about trusting in the flow of God. So if you
Okay.
feel in your heart, you got to go and do something. And you take that leap of faith, all right? You just trust it. And the hand of God comes in as soon as you've jumped off the cliff. Like moving back home, for example, is probably jumping off the cliff.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and what's it going to be like after 20 odd years away from the family? You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the hand of God will catch you and you realize God has always been there. So if I just follow my heart, so it's about following the flow of the heart and take actions in total trust, it'll work. And after a while, you'll trust that and you realize if I just follow the path of the spiritual signature, what opens my heart in each moment, life will just work. Things will just turn up. They'll just come to you just when you need it. So actually, you get to the point there's nothing to worry about. It'll just work out. So
That's funny you said that because I kind of joke with people like I don't know how I feel like I'm a cat with like 9 lives.
well, you got more than 9.
I always land on my feet.
Probably got 13 at least. See, so just trust in God, literally, and I'd say let go and let God guide you.
That's right.
Okay, then the right thing will come, and then you feel happy, and you say, "Okay, I'm home now. Let's get on with it."
That's beautiful. Thank you.
All right. Hope that helps.
Yes, that's thank you for your time.
Okay, Leslie, you got a question? You have to unmute on the left, bottom left. See a little box.
My hand up for having a reading.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're on next. You're on next then.
If you have time.
We do. So you put your name in the chat. I'm just looking for it here.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Leslie Patricia Grimes.
Yes, that was my birth name.
Okay. let's go and find out what's going on, Leslie Patricia Grimes. So, okay. All right. So thanks, Sarah, for bearing your soul.
Thank you. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. I
Move on.
appreciate your time and everyone on here. Thank you.
Move on to Leslie. Okay, cool down. What's your star sign, Leslie?
I'm a Leo.
Leo, okay. Yeah. So what's your question, Leslie?
I'm not sure I have a question. I'm 81 and I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to do with my life.
We better find out, haven't we? So, okay. All right. So you're here to learn to ground on earth, come into your body, form clear boundaries, and then to relate to the place, society. Because you don't come here very often. Does that sound familiar?
Well, I do quite a lot of physical things to try and stay grounded.
Yeah. But did you find this place pretty strange when you first came? You couldn't relate to the humans and how it works here and all these emotions and stuff.
I find emotions quite difficult, yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's about coming into your feelings in the body, coming into the emotions in the body. That's a major lesson for you, to move from the mind into the body feeling.
Okay.
Okay. And then physical talents here are very strong. You're a dragon lady here. Another one, Leslie. And you're here to catalyze these eights or the nines, to use the dragon energy to burn through those eights so you can start to feel stuff. And to then catalyze these sevens. Have you been hiding away when you were younger from life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you coming out now in the world, or?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So you're here to show your true self. There's a sevens here. Okay. The seven is about a link which unites. So you're here to drop the facade the ego puts up. So scared of being rejected. And there's a broken heart from childhood looking at this. And heal the wounded heart of the inner child and show your true self. And when you do that, what'll happen is that you'll draw lots of people to you, build that network we were talking about earlier. Okay. In spiritual karma, you have very heavy spiritual karma. This is 22-4. This is about a disconnect from source. So the 22 is source, but it's in karma. It means the ego doesn't believe there is any God. Not most of us feel abandoned by God, but a karmic 22 normally feels on a bad day there's no God. It feels just stranded here. There's no source. Does that sound familiar?
No, I definitely believe there is energy and source, and I think of angels helping and surrounding me.
Yeah. How was that as a child though? Do you have bad days sometimes where God just didn't feel like he was around on Fridays or something like that? I mean, you've had plenty of time to work this through, but what was it like when you were younger?
Oh, when I was a child, probably, yes.
Yeah. How did that feel? Tingling your leg?
Abandoned.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because the ego feels there is no God. And the whole point of the karmic lesson was is to dissolve all that disbelief in God and then reconnect. So it's a very extreme karmic pattern. And then to bring it through and share it and to trust that I've got my connection back and I'm going to share it out in the world with the fours. So you're here to share the oral law of God, Leslie. You're here to share source energy. and to bring through whatever people need in the moment. So what do you do, Leslie, spiritually? What's the things you've been up to along those lines?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what.
So what have you been up to in terms of your spiritual path? Are you a healer or a teacher?
I've done Reiki
Yeah.
for a number of years, and I go to a few webinars on the Crown of Mary and Angels of Atlantis and things like that.
Yeah.
I try and connect with the angels and
Yeah. And has that opened things up for you?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got to keep at it. Keep building that connection here.
Yeah.
And the spiritual talents is about you're here to actually run your own groups to share knowledge because you're really here. You're an absorber of knowledge. That's why you keep going to events. You're here to absorb knowledge, expand it, and share it. This seems to be a common number amongst you guys. And to actually be a teacher from deep from the soul. That's the purpose of being here. Okay.
Okay.
To teach actually from source, really, I would say, looking at this. So in summary, you're here to learn to relate to society, come on your body, feel stuff, catalyze others to grow, build networks, share source energy out in the world. So yeah.
Thank you.
That's the purpose of this life, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. Any questions, anyone on that? No? Okay. Guys, I need to go to the bathroom briefly. I'm a toilet break and I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Then we'll keep going, okay? So just give me a minute. Okay, Melissa, and you put your hand up.
Yes, just in case someone doesn't want to put their chart up, I'm willing. So just wanted to add that.
Okay. All right. So for someone who hasn't had their chart looked at, who would like me to look at their chart? Anyone else?
Please find the chat. The information is in the chat.
Who's talking to me? It's very faint.
Paula Harriet.
Okay, can you?
Paula Harriet.
Paula, have you got? I can hear you now. Okay.
Yes, I placed the information in the chat. Thank you.
All right. So Paula, where are you? I'm trying to find you on the screen here. Have you no camera? Doesn't work. You've got a camera.
No,
I
no
think
camera because I'm at work.
if she raises her hand, she'll kind of come up to the front of the line.
Okay, I can see you on the thing. Yeah, no, I understand you're at work, Paula, so that's fine. Let me find your name in the chat. Okay, what's the name, Paula? So I can.
Paula Harriet.
No, what's the full birth name? Oh, there it is. Paula Jean Harriet. Gotcha. Okay. But you can see my screen, Paula.
Yes.
Yeah, just keep your microphone on then, so we can chat. Okay, let's put you up in here. Okay. So what brought you here, Paula? Yeah, you had to
Can I
stay.
write my responses in the chat? Can you see if I write my responses in the chat?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll speak, you right. Okay. Okay. Also, curiosity about her purpose. What star sign are you, Paula? Gemini. Let's put this consent here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, all right, Paula. So, here's your chart. You can make these webcams a bit smaller so you can see everything. So, Paula, you are here to overcome fear of speaking the truth because of persecution. To speak the truth in the world. This is saying you're very sensitive energetically. To share knowledge that comes to you. You got a karmic 22-4, spiritual karmic 22-4. Leslie did. So you're here to basically take things that come to you, knowledge and ideas. I can draw this, squiggly this thing. You're here to take ideas that come to you and duplicate them. Look at this. It's not a great drawing. And produce a flow of nature. Money, ideas. Okay, so whatever comes to you, you're here to duplicate and pass it on. And you're another 12-3. You're here to absorb knowledge, expand and teach it out in the world. So you're here already as a teacher. And we explain the spiritual karmic pattern here. How did you experience this sense that there was no God when you were younger? Paul, do you want to type that down for me so I've got some idea what you went through? Let's wait for that response. Christian, okay. How about a sense of the real God though? Not the way it was presented in the Christian sense, but the sense of all that is of source. How was that for you? How did it come across? I'm just trying to see how this is played out. Okay, so basically Paul said, I was raised in Christian home, but not until I was an adult that she got a sense of all that is. So what happened was that her initial religious upbringing sort of kept away the spiritual, all that is that we're used to. Okay. Now she's come into it here. Okay. So do you feel you can share that high consciousness now more gracefully with people now you're plugged in at last? There's a big yes here to the prior question. Another yes, absolutely, yeah. So your main pattern your main mission here is to share, that we had earlier, Leslie, the source energy, and give people what they need in completeness to dispense whatever they need, in completeness, whatever it is they want, and it'll be unique to each person you come across. Okay, because you're here to be a spiritual teacher of sorts, and to share a lot of love. This is saying there's a lot of issues with your mother here. Is that the case? Yeah, there's a yes there. So you're here to come into the divine feminine and share that energy and look after others, but also empower them here and to be very focused on what you're here to do. All right, so this is another service incarnation, pretty much, to teach from source with a lot of love that catalyze people to grow, cutting edge truths in a very focused way, but being very generous with it. Okay, that's why you're here, Paula. How's that sound? Yep. Okay, thank you. You got any other questions, Paula? Was that clear enough? Okay, good. All right. Adam,
Yeah.
what have you got for me? You got your name up here on the chat?
Yeah, it's a bit up somewhere.
Yeah, I just got to get to the chat again. It's disappeared on me. Okay.
Find it?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. No. What starts on you?
Capricorn.
Oh. All right, what's your question, Adam?
I thought I didn't really have one, except I always ask same
Oh,
curiosity.
you're very faint.
Oh,
It's better. Say it again.
Any better now?
It's better now. I can hear you.
Okay. I liked what Mario was talking about when he mentioned the tarot readings. It reminded me of, I tried a few months ago to like start up some kind of business. I feel like life's telling me to do languages, but at the same time, I find it really hard to find the passion for them again. So I was very confused about whether, I started a school community, but I closed it because I didn't know what I was really doing in terms of, should it be spiritual? Should it be this? Should it be languages? And it's a bit lost, really. And I'm getting signs about building. And it's funny you mentioned Lego. I'm getting a lot of signs about Lego. And so I don't really know. I was kind of like, what kind of business should I be doing, maybe? Or how can I serve?
Okay. So you're here to learn to explore the physical world and try things out. Which is probably where you travel around and live in different places.
Yeah.
But you have a 22-4 here in physical talent. So you're very versatile. This is saying you can pretty much do whatever you want if it interests you. But overall, you're here to serve others with spiritual energies, okay? And to ground here on earth. But this 18-9 is interesting. I'd say for you, do you like projects, Adam?
So do I like projects?
Do you like taking projects and working out how to make things happen and completing them, but having challenges to complete them at times?
I like doing big things, and I like the idea of mastering all these different languages, but there's definitely challenges to doing that.
How many languages do you speak?
3-ish, but I've learned a bit of many, like 10-ish.
Yeah. So what do you normally work as? Like an interpreter or?
No. I was a teacher out in China then and before, like an ESL teacher,
Yeah.
Now, and then I've done some jobs as a teaching assistant in England, and also like working on holiday parks, like right now, just in a restaurant or like activities, helping kids, or like right now I'm just a front of house stuff waiter. So I've just kind of done teaching or like random jobs like that.
Okay. All right. So you have a soul destiny of a 15-6. You're another restless one.
Yes.
You're going to go and try stuff on. So you're not going to be able to figure this out.
Yeah.
You have to go and try it out. as I said earlier.
Okay.
So whatever you're drawn to next is the next thing to do. How old are you now?
34.
Okay. So yeah, keep going. It may take a while. Usually about mid-40s, you find what you want to do. Well, it might be quicker for you because you move quite quickly. You process 20s great movement, but you have to go and try it on.
Right.
And if you get restless, go and do the next thing until you get it right. But you're never going to know till you try it on. You could be wondering, but you won't know till you try it on. That's the key to this. But some sort of project management, being charged for a project to be of service to others will probably be good. Okay. All right. Hope that helps.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Okay. Right, guys. Right. Now, for those guys here who are going to watch this later, who you can generate your chart on soulcontractreader.com. What I'm going to do now is slight change of pace here. I'm going to go through the meaning of all the numbers so you can work out what your life is about. Okay. So, we just find yellow going around here. We want this one. So you can generate your reading with soulcontractreader.com. Okay, I'm going to summarize what the numbers mean. Okay. Right. And then we'll take whatever other questions we've got left at the end. So, a 1, okay, which is the symbol of the 1 here, it's unity, power, and stability. It's 2 symbols. When you pull them apart, you get stronger. If you have it in talents, either spiritual or physical, it's about unity, power, and stability, the masculine aspect of God. If it's in karma or goals, it's about learning to overcome the misuse of power and avoidance of spiritual growth. That's the essence of it. Okay. And you can move through that through spiritual disciplines like meditation, yoga, martial arts, that connecting to the masculine aspect of God. Okay. If you have a 2, which is the spring here, whoops. This is a spring which moves up and down like this. Okay. It's about learning resiliency. Okay. If it's in talents, you're emotionally resilient and objective. If it's in karma or goals, you lack resiliency. So what happens is that the actual symbol, if you get emotional shock, it squashes and it doesn't come back up. So you're in shock. All right. So it's about learning the lessons of wisdom and foolishness to wisdom. This leads to impulsive decisions when you're not looking at what the truth of what's going on. Because the spring's moving up and down. And it's viewing something here, situation. From this viewpoint, it looks true. And up here, it looks true. And here, it looks true, but you've got to wait till the spring gets to the very top. Here, gets to the top. And then you have maximum objectivity. And if you have that, then you will, what will happen then is that you'll make a wise decision. Okay. 3 is about communication. This is an internal canal. And the idea of this is to pull out the plug of unworthiness through healing that sits in this canal, and then release out this great library of knowledge, all the wisdom of the soul. Okay? As a teacher, communicator. That's what 3s are about. It's a very powerful number. 4 here is duplication and sharing. It's about taking one of these elements, some talents, and trusting that if I create another one, add it to it, and then create another one, I'll create a flow for myself, and the flow of God will come. Flow of God's abundance. It's the flow of nature. Yeah. If it's in karma or goals, it's lack of trust in the flow. It basically feels nothing more is going to come. It gets stuck. Okay, it doesn't trust that things will come. And so the learning of that is to learn to share of self with others and trust in all aspects of life. There's always an answer to every situation in life. Still wait. Okay, so this is this here is a abstract. It's abstract being. It's like a fetus or a swan. It's something which is changing and growing. And if it's in talents here, it's all about truth and intuition. It's the ability to tell if someone's telling you the truth or not. It's a very good BS detector and just trusting the very refined psychic energy that it carries. If it's in karma or goals, it's the fear of speaking the truth, misuse of the voice. Otherwise, it's very outspoken with the truth. Okay, so, and being a pioneer. If it's in karma or goals, you need to clear the past life issue of persecution for speaking the truth. The 6 here is called a convertible knot. And if it's in talents, it's very creative. It can take an idea, manifest it into physical form. If it is in karma or goals, it's a lack of focus, block creativity, a lot of rigidity and anger. Okay. The 7 here. It's a link which unites. This is about heart opening. Some talents is a very open heart, very objective, because they can feel what's true. They can feel what's going on in a situation with multiple choices. If it's in karma or goals, they're in dreamland because they haven't made a decision to show their true self, as I was saying earlier, and they're hiding behind a facade. And because they don't know who they are, they don't know who anyone else is. So they get very full in relationships. They can be very incisive, like even choosing a pizza on the menu. A restaurant, because the ultimate indecision is I haven't decided who I am. I don't know who I am. I can't decide what's really going on. Eight is an amoeba. It's about coming into the watery emotions of Earth, forming clear boundaries. And the amoeba must maintain a good balance, otherwise it gets absorbed by the watery environment around it. So they're very grounded and connecting with people. If it's in karma or goals, they can be very ungrounded, avoiding connection, unclear boundaries. If you have a 9, this is the dragon energy. 9's dragon energy here. It's very powerful and catalytic. You just trust spirit. Okay. If it's in karma, there's resistance to the power. They can feel like a victim. They can have no boundaries because they'll manifest lots of disempowerment around them. Okay. All right. 10. Is the potential manifestation. It's the potential manifestation of spirit, the masculine and feminine aspects of God coming in curves down to the earth plane to be of service. Okay, the manifestation of God. If it's in karma or goals, it's the denial of God, denial of His flow, the misuse of God's power. That's to be overcome. So basically, what happens is that if you've got a karma or goals, you're here to overcome it and become the positive aspects, the talent aspects of it. And it applies to all the numbers. Okay. Okay. So 12. If you're 11. 11. 11s are here, talents, to learn to discern from all the ideas and concepts that come to them, to take the bits that resonate and build their own unique structure of truth, or physically build stuff that's in the physical part of your chart, and throw away all the things that don't resonate. If it's in karma or goals, they lack structure. They may feel lost completely until they get that structure. And there's issues of life and death. The death of old things can actually shatter someone's life, just shatters, and they're here to build a new structure. So they may have a structure down here that shatters, and then they're here to build a new structure. Yeah. A completely different life. Okay. And so they grow in steps like that, rather than sort of gradual increase, which is what most people do. Okay. How are we doing with this? Is this making sense, guys? So from this, you can figure out everyone else in your life. Okay. So the 12 here, 12 is about absorbing and expanding knowledge. So this here expands out as knowledge comes in, and sharing it with the 3. Okay, and absorbing, expanding love. If it's in karma or goals, it means the expansion is unbalanced. So they may go too much one way and not enough this way, and they may meet obstacles as a result. Okay, so when they meet an obstacle, 12 gets them to back off and just wait. Okay, and come in a more balanced way. "13 is the divine feminine aspect of God. And this is all about the upper and lower waters of the divine feminine. It's the unconditional love of the divine feminine, Christ consciousness energies. And talents, whether it's in karma or goals, it's a heart blockage to love. It can be very self-indulgent because they don't believe there's enough there for them. Okay, and so they keep it to themselves, and then they don't look after us, they neglect the needs of others. "14 is reflected being. Okay, it's reflection and intensity in relationships. So they're like this multi-dimensional mirror. So others can learn how they are. It's very intense being with them. If it's in karma or goals, it's about learning self-acceptance through relationships. Okay, and using other people can be stubborn as well. 15, we've had quite a few of these this evening. Okay, so the 15 here is feeling the God within. Those of you who got it, which is quite a few of you, you've got to feel God within you or outside you through the journey of life. Then you know where the right place to be is. If it is in karma or goals, it can be insecure because you're going around in circles trying to find that feeling by having to try things out. Drink. "16 here is about bringing spiritual energies down from the high dimensions to the earth plane. This is the earth plane here, making them accessible in plain English. Okay, right. And if it's in karma or goals, it's a refusal by the ego to accept that coming in. There's resistance, which can lead to a lot of anger. Okay, so it's about opening to love, really. The 17 here is like a mouth, symbolic mouth of God. This is expression in society and talents. And if it is in karma or goals, it's suppressed emotional expression, inability to relate. I used to have one of these. Very strong. Okay. 18 is choosing to follow spirit. It's the talents, it's choosing from many different pathways of experience, coming in and choosing to follow the path of God or following the path of the ego. And 18s always feel like there's a bit pressure. There's never enough data. I don't have enough data to make a decision here. Okay, but at this point, they're forced to make a decision because they have to get on with it. Okay, all right. So if it's in karma or goals, they can be fearful of making the wrong decision. Shall I follow spirit or not? There's a lot of over researching things to try and make the right decision. But they have to learn to make the right decision based, on the best information available in the moment. 19, talents. People with 19s always want to set up a space, a center, either for helping people physically out in the world or a more spiritual center. So taking spiritual energies down to the earth plane and creating this high frequency space was to come into and learn about and achieve their goals. If it's in karma or goals, however, they'll want to do this, but that's a struggle. They don't know how to use these spiritual energies properly, so they'll misuse them initially. It'll be very challenging to create that center. $20 here. 20 is great movement. In talents, it's the ability to move pretty much anywhere they want, physically and emotionally and spiritually, and stay in balance. If it's in karma or goals, they can have a rigid belief system. They don't want to move. Okay, and can be a lot of conflict. It's war and peace symbolically in them. Oops, sorry. So, wrong button. So, 21, this is a divine mother aspect of God. Okay, this is a very strong energy. This is the energy a woman has to give birth over several days. Okay, to endure and overcome big challenges. It's in talents, but if it's in karma, they can tend to do everything the hard way. A lot of blocked energy until they overcome it. 22, 22, which has been quite popular this evening. This is about source energy. This is about blending of mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul in the circle of God. So it's completion, it's connection to source. People with talents can really just share that knowledge in completeness and be quite a different person to different people. But if it's in karma, there's a sense of disconnection from source. It's very painful because literally the body feels, the ego feels there is no God. They may understand God, they can't feel it. They don't even feel abandoned. They just feel there's no God when they're younger. So it can drive people a bit crazy. So that's one of the toughest karmic patterns. So I hope it helps you guys watching. You can reduce your charts on soulcontractreader.com, and these interpretations hopefully help you get a grip on what's going on. Okay. Any questions on that, people? No? Okay, we'll continue. Back to this presentation here. All right. Done that. So there's a couple of ways you can figure these charts out. You can generate them for free on soulcontractreader.com, and then you can get the book Your Soul Contract Decoded. Okay, you can go to yoursoulcontractdecoded.com and buy my book, which goes into great depth. That takes a while though. But if you've got if you wanting to find out about a lot of people, or even some people where they're having to go through the book every time, which is what people ask me to solve. To solve the issue. Say, well, can't I just press the button, Nicolas, and get what's in the book in a report? Well, we can now. So we produce this thing called soul contract reports. Okay. And basically it takes the content of the book and produces a written report for you based on the system. So what it does is it speeds it up for those who are in a hurry. Because most people have the patience to go through the book once, but then they want the rest without having to do it again. So we produce this. There's two types of reports. We've just started the soft launch of this. Okay, we've been working on this for 8 years. So if you want a brief overview of someone, you can get a summary report here. You can get a highlights of interpretations. It's 4 pages. This is the price down here, approximately £13.99 and about $18 US. So you might want to look at a whole bunch of people. And some people say, well, I want the lot. So you can get a full report, which is about 100 to 140 pages, depending on the numbers in there. And that's full in-depth interpretations of someone's chart. and this is more affordable than the live reading for those who want to look at a lot of charts. So it's £70 for that, or about 93 US dollars. So this is what you actually get in there. And these are turning out to be quite popular, it seems. So in the summary report, you get to find out the hidden meaning of your life. Our practitioners on the back end of the site produce the reports. You get it within 2 to 7 days because they make sure everything's okay. And you can upgrade to a full report if you want it later, if you like the look of that. But if you, and the same with a full report, it's still 2 to 7 days here. But once you've read that, because it's not a live reading where you can ask all your questions, you get a generic report of what's there, but it will often trigger a lot of questions. So you can always go to a practitioner, ask for a clarification reading. Well, I'm actually here now, and most of this makes sense. What do I do next? So we offer that service as well. Okay. We're trying to make this more accessible to people because readings themselves can cost a couple $100 or pounds. So we made it more affordable for people. So the summary report comprises of a welcome, the chart, and the summary. Whereas the full report comprises those three plus interpretations for all the aspects, recommendations, further deeper interpretations, what to do with them. And we also talk about this nerd section, details of how the system works and what you can do based upon this knowledge. Okay. And if you're interested in getting those, you can get them at this. This is our reports website, yourselfcontractreport.com. Will take you to the right place. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show it to you. You just stop sharing it. Because we have some people say, okay, I want to see my whole family, and let's sort of get on with it now. Okay. So I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you some of the reports. I thought we'd never get this finished, but we have. Robin Williams, my business partner, is a practitioner as well. He built the system. He built it together. He's a software architect who built it. But it's taken two of us to actually get it to the state where it actually works at last. It's a miracle. It's actually happened. So I'm very grateful to him for this. So this is where your self-contract report takes you to. So I'll show you what the report looks like. So this is the main landing page. So this is the summary report. These make great Christmas presents and stuff like that. Basically gives you an overview of how it works. For people hitting it cold for the first time. Okay. And for you practitioners here, we're going to roll it out next year from summer onwards to everybody who's interested. It's going to take a bit of time though. So basically give an explanation of how it works overall. This is a sample reading from Michael William Sampson in the book. And basically we explain how the chart structure works here. And then we explain numbers and symbols, how the chart's generated. And most importantly, we give key points for each number, summary of the key points. So someone can get a bit of a taste for their reading, who's just interested, just wanting to start. Okay. So there's enough to whet people's appetites. And if you want to go deeper, you can upgrade to a full report or buy one up front if you want. And this is the one where we put everything, including the multiple kitchen sinks, into it. And so this report explains how to use it. Okay, how to use the thing in a structured way based upon the book, plus a lot of other work we did in writing this. So it's a self-contained thing for people. And then we explain how all the aspects work. Here, it's like you saw before. This is the summary report. But after that, we get into the in-depth report. This thing is quite large. This is 122 pages. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But basically, we talk about the process for absorbing it, which takes several months, actually. how interpretations work, how to navigate things. And we go through each aspect, explaining what karma is. Okay, what core interpretations are at top level. Okay, and then we go and here are the generic core patterns we talk about. What karmic patterns are going to reveal themselves in physical karmic 11 twos, and what state you're going to get into when you work through it. And then we talk about, there's more of them here. Okay, it's quite a lot here. And then we talk about the journey, what recommendations you need to work through it. Yeah. We talk about from here, how to work it through, and then it applies to all the other aspects as well. So basically, this is as in-depth as it gets based upon the book. There's a lot of support. People who want to study this and who may not be ready for a live reading, or they can't afford a live reading. Okay, so this is what this report does. And that gives people a very good basis for understanding who they truly are. People are finding it quite transformative with Discover. And then after that, if you want more, you can have a live reading to answer all the questions, which will come up. There's usually 5 or 6 of them. And you can buy them in packages as well. You can buy, if you've got families and friends. We've been testing this for about 3 years. So you can buy 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 8, or 12 summary reports. We can buy the full reports here. Okay, this is different packages. Okay, and this will show up in your own currency, whatever country you're in. Okay. It just explains the system basically at a top level. It's me and Guy. And so it's trying to make this accessible to a lot of people. And it's only for birth names only. It's not for common use names or anything else, or phonetic names. Okay, I said let's see. Okay, so that's if you guys or your friends you want to get into this without spending a fortune. Okay, and we're trying to wake a lot of people up. That's the whole purpose of the tool. Wake a lot of people up. This is about time we got on with it, I think. That's why we're doing this. So any feedback or questions about that? Anyone, practitioners, and you guys just interested in this? What do you think, Leslie? You're unmuted. You can talk.
Looks great.
Yeah.
To have a complete collection of different options. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So that's there if you want it, yourselfcontractreport.com. Any other comments? I've got a few more things to say. No, we're all a bit blasted by the whole thing, probably. Okay. So some of you were talking about maybe training. Okay, I will talk about that a little bit. Yeah. Let's go find slides for you. Okay. So if you're interested in the training, this will give you a profound understanding of your clients and give them a profound understanding. Okay. And it'll give you lots of structure for understanding them and yourself, and you'll basically be able to give readings afterwards, because you spend 3 days sitting in the field of the 22 numbers and we look at everyone's chart in class, and we basically talk about their own direct subjective experience of their numbers. So that's how you learn the 22 numbers. It's not about learning more from the book, it's about becoming the work. So it's a really powerful bodily transmission. And it means that if you're going to deliver this to people, you can give people a deep feeling of peace and relief and empowerment, basically, from that. So it transforms lives radically, as we teach you how to hold space. And we teach you the last 2 days, we teach you actually how to hold space, and you practice on each other, delivering the reading to people. You show them where they're on their spiritual map of life, how to align to their soul purpose, and it touches their inner being greatly. And you open to a deeper level of yourself as a result. I've been doing these readings for 30 years and it still stuns me what it can do. So you're preparing and giving readings in the group, and people are amazed at how good they are because they become it. Bit of practice, and then you're up and running. And if you guys are interested, whoops, I need to show you some different dates. The what's the other one? Actually, I just need to go to a different presentation to get the exact dates just to see. There's another one I've got to pull up. So I was working on 2 of them earlier prior to this. So you know where we are. Give me more accurate dates. Here it is. Yes, found it. Nearly there. Trying to cover sort of a vast number of different needs here. So the next training, we run it twice a year, is going to be the 19th and 20th to 21st and 23rd to 24th of March 2026. We have a gap in the middle so you get a break because it's very intense, the transmission. Sarah, where are you? Alabama.
I'm in Michigan. I moved from Alabama.
Okay. So that's Central Time. So we start at 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time. So you guys don't have to get up so early in America. So it's 6:30 in the morning to 2:30 p.m. In Pacific, it's 4:30 a.m., but it beats traveling, flying, which is what people used to do. So in Eastern is 7:30 a.m. start, which is a bit more civilized. Europe is 1:30 p.m. You can find out more at soulcontractreading.com. And the fee is £718, about $900, about £277 deposit, which is included within this, and about $350 US for the deposit. And if you are in Asia, we have an Asia Pacific training on 5th, 7th, and 9th, and 10th of June. This is for Southeast Asia and Australasia. Excuse me. It starts at 6 a.m. in UK. That's radars, about the earliest I can teach at. But then at times are more civilized. It's 10:30 in the morning in India, 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Hong Kong, Malaysia, 2 in Japan. In Australia, it starts around 2 o'clock. Western Australia, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Sydney. New Zealand's 5 p.m. But we have people from all over the place come. Same price, but this makes it easier on people. That's what people asked us for. So that's what we call the Asia Pacific training. And there's another Western Hemisphere training. It'll probably be in October next year as well. So there's 2 Western Hemispheres and there's 1 Asia Pacific training. Okay. So any questions on those guys? Those are going to come in. A brief overview. You've done well hanging out with me this long. Yeah. Let me just check if there's any other questions in the chat. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoy your report, Sarah. Okay. All right. Let me just see. Let me look at the Q&A. Just make sure there's something here. Okay. All right. No, I think I've answered all the questions. Okay, last chance for anything else you might want to know before we go. You've done well, guys, hanging out for 2 hours with me. Thank you. No? No hands up? Okay. All right. So thanks for your time. Thanks you to my practitioners for their support. And we'll get the video out to you in a couple of days. Okay? And
Can I just ask a very short question?
Maya, go for it.
The difference between this automated reading of your birth name and then if you have a foreign name, with phonetic version. So the first one is more about your personality
it's a more personality based. It still has a physical and spiritual components, but the phonetic name basically is it's a name more spiritually based for later in life for what you're here to really do. And you have to reach a certain point of evolution through the as-spelt name before you can connect with it. But it gives 2 layers of the reading. That's what we've learned. It's only something we've discovered in the past 3 or 4 years about
Yes, I
how.
know, and not everyone does it. I think you are the only one.
Yeah, so we do the phonetic version of the name. Okay, so because we discovered there's both the spelt version and the phonetic version. That's just from research and working with people. Okay.
Yeah, because the phonetic one is really like the way your parents pronounce your name, your birth name. So,
But writing has a lot of power as well, we discovered. We didn't realize how strong it was.
okay. You know, yeah. No, I know, because I mean, I identify with both.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Maya. Okay, people, we'll call it a day. Thank you for your time, support.
Thank you for yours.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Leslie.
Very interesting. Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care, guys. Bye.